All right, here we go, y'all. We have another Elon Musk massive purge campaign to discuss. Elon Musk under fire after X apparently purges popular left-wing critics. Quote, taking off the free speech mask. Elon Musk's X/Twitter platform began suspending the accounts of prominent left-wing journalists and bloggers late on Monday night and into Tuesday. Civil rights attorney Alejandro Caraballo began documenting the massive purge Tuesday morning and listed some of the major accounts that were suspended. Ken Klippenstein of The Intercept, our friend Ken. Stephen Zetti, who writes under Stephen Monticelli of The Texas Observer. Blogger Rob Rousseau, our friend Rob. The account for TrueAnon podcast and blogger Zay Squirrel were among those suspended. Caraballo noted that most of those suspended are shitposting accounts that were critical of Elon and Bill Ackman. What a surprise, thin-skinned Elon. Suggesting that Musk was silencing critics. Mediaite reached out to X for comment and received an automated reply that read, busy now, please check back later. Jesus, this thing is falling apart. In a statement to the Daily Dot, Zetti said he did not receive any explanation from X about suspension. He added he has written multiple critical reports about Twitter/X and Elon Musk in recent months. Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. The Texas Observer put out a statement on the suspension of its correspondent, writing on Threads. In Twitter/X news, our special investigative correspondent, Stephen Zanetti, has been suspended with no warning or explanation, along with numerous other journalism accounts such as Ken Klippenstein and Rob Rousseau. Here you can see that the accounts were suspended. The Observer also posted to X, writing, Dear Elon Musk and at support. We'd like to know why our reporter, Stephen Monticelli, was suspended from this platform. The Observer, a sharp critic of Musk and X, also listed its other social media accounts and urges readers to follow us off this hell site. Observers were quick to note that many of the suspended accounts were not only critical of Musk, but also of U.S. foreign policy and Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza. Hard-left anti-interventionist commentator Glenn Greenwald, I don't know if I'd agree with that categorization of Glenn in terms of the labels they're using here, reacted to suspensions, writing, the account Zay Squirrel was highly popular and polarizing. Its focus was on harshly criticizing U.S. and EU foreign policy. That account survived the prior Twitter regime. Their recent focus has been on criticizing Israel and Ackman. Just got banned with no explanation at Elon Musk. So the Ackman story is crazy, man. You guys know what happened with Ackman. He was the one who was part of the Chris Rufo crusade against Claudine Gay, the head of Harvard, who gave the right answer in a hearing where she was asked, hey, if somebody calls for genocide of the Jews on college campuses at some sort of protest, does that violate school policy? And she said, if the language is targeted, then yes, it is threatening and proper action will be taken, right? That's the correct answer. That is the 100% correct answer. Well, people pretended like what she said was egregious. No, what she said was accurate, correct, and right in line with free speech and the rules that already exist, right? You know, in the same way, you could say horrible things about black people or gay people or women or Jews or Christians or Muslims. You have free speech. It only becomes a problem when there's actually a direct threat of violence, right? That's just the way free speech works. That's the way it should work, right? So she comes out and says that. It's the right thing. They decide, no, we're going to go on a crusade against her and try to get her fired. And basically that is what they did. They dug into her past and found like inadequate citations and some plagiarism from back in the day. And then eventually she resigned / was fired. And Bill Ackman was one of the guys leading the charges. Well, guess what? People decided, okay, well, turnabout's fair play. If you're going to go after Claudine Gay and try to dig up some dirt to find an excuse to fire her because you're on a censorship crusade here, a firing crusade here, they decided to dig up some dirt on Bill Ackman's wife, who also happened to plagiarize, probably even significantly worse than Claudine Gay. And when she was called out on the plagiarism, all of a sudden Bill Ackman went from, we need to punish plagiarism, to, what even really is plagiarism, bro? What can we even say what plagiarism is, bro? And he's been melting down on Twitter for days now. And a lot of these accounts were exposing Bill Ackman for the fraud that he is and the double standards that he has. It's bad when Claudine Day does it. It's okay when my wife does it. I love free speech, but I don't love free speech in the context of what the question Claudine Gay was answering. The guy's a joke. Okay? He's a censorship crusader, ironically, as he pretends like he's a free speech warrior. That's what so many people on the right are now. It's embarrassing. These are the same people that 2 years ago, they were sucking themselves off about how much they love free speech. And now they're like, fire them! They were insensitive to Jews on campus! It's unbelievable hypocrisy. So these accounts were exposing the hypocrisy and the stupidity of somebody like Ackman, criticizing Israeli foreign policy in Gaza, and boom, they get purged from Twitter. So Zay Squirrel said the following: I was just now in the middle of writing a thread about Bill Ackman's depravity and lies, and I suddenly got a notice that I can no longer post because I am suspended. So I went to my email to check if there was any reason provided there, if any of my posts had been reported, and there's nothing. I didn't even have the opportunity to delete a post that supposedly infringes on Twitter's rules. No, that cunt scumbag Elon Musk, likely at the behest of his buddy Bill Ackman, who I have been embarrassing over the past few days, just banned me. No reason given. Not even an attempt to justify it. No, just suspended me because his billionaire buddy didn't like my posts about him. Wow. Musk bought Twitter in October of 2022 for $44 billion and vowed to make the platform a haven for free speech, declaring himself the free speech absolutist. In December of that year, Musk purged several high-profile journalists from the platform, including CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan, Washington Post Drew Harwell, New York Times Ryan Mack, and The Intercept's Michael Lee. After a fierce backlash, Musk reinstated the accounts, which he claimed were boosting users trying to dox him. That's not true. They were reporting on the fighting between the Elon Jet account and Elon. Here are some reactions to Musk's latest apparent purge. I remember the last time Elon Musk went on a journalist purge, there were still enough active journalists on here to kick up a fuss and get a reversal. But this time, there are actually simply so few people left using Twitter, I'm not sure where the pressure would come from. Deafening silence from the usual right-wing free speech knobheads over Musk's ideological Twitter purge. Politics aside, Musk doesn't even understand his audience. Ken Klippenstein is Twitter. Ken Klippenstein is a journalist specialized in national security, currently working at The Intercept. Stephen Monticelli is special investigative correspondent at the Texas Observer, whose recent articles covered the right wing in Texas, which the state which Elon Musk is a resident. Looks like Elon Musk is taking off the free speech mask. Oh yeah, this guy Alan McLeod right here. He also has a great account, and he was banned as well. Update: Musk later addressed critics and wrote in reply to calls to reinstate accounts that he would investigate. He later added, "We do sweeps for spam and scam accounts, and sometimes real accounts get caught up in, oh, please. These are obviously not spam accounts or scam accounts." Many of the suspended accounts were reinstated on Tuesday. So in other words, after a big outcry, they reversed it. So I would love to know the specifics of how this went down. I would bet a lot of money that Bill Ackman was directly behind this. I would bet a lot of money that Bill Ackman was directly behind it. I'm sure Elon played a role, but the outcries became too fierce, too strong, the claims of hypocrisy too accurate to not address it. So here's another Musk purge session, and then going back on it, and I expect more totally unstable, unsteady, absurd leadership from the head of Twitter, because that's what he's given us every step of the way. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.